Alright guys, welcome back for a little one-off show match between IndioBot 1999 slash Migo taking on ageofkiller slash Breeze of Brothers. I always get confused when players have many different alter egos, different names, different accounts, but Breeze hasn't been around for ages, even asking what happened to the SKG clan. SKG clan, lol. Right, back in post-coronavirus and post-EPL, well no, it's still coronavirus, but post-EPL 2, shall I say. You can even define this as a point in history where ageofkiller looks like representing the backpack group. IndioBot representing the FBI, I have no idea what that is. Anyway, French versus the Portuguese. ageofkiller Breeze, plain Portuguese, his absolute favourite slash main civilization. Not a fantastic Portuguese map. Could go for docks either side with a schooner's play and get a little bit of fishing eco, or maybe just commit to one side with a defensive town centre on the ponds to try and protect it. But I just don't feel that Portuguese on this map is a great idea. But ageofkiller, he doesn't mind, he's just playing it because it's just a bit of a fun match. Migo though, playing French on Cascade range, quite good map for French. A map I've seen, a matchup, or should I say a Civ, I've seen Migo play on this map before, and I want to see if he's going to go for the same deck, the same build order, and the same style as last time I saw Migo play this, because it seems to be a very well thought out, balanced style between eco and aggression. Does involve the natives, and we'll see if his deck is it. Yes, it's the same deck. Pioneers making an appearance, as well as Team Native Combat, Native Treaties, Wilderness Warfare. Native Combat in the third age is a very strong card, but that's if you get to the third age. Natives usually shine in the second, in a more of a kind of aggressive setting. Wood shipments as well to help the production of native units. May see Migo drop a few docks down as well. He did that last time. He might want to do that again. But that's the map, that's the matchup, and that's probably the idea that Migo wants to go for. Let's have a quick look at Breeze's deck. Why he's taking on 50 food, or taking on one Cougar for 50 food treasure. The deck, 300 wood infinite card. Single food wood coin crate in the second age. You wouldn't usually play that long in the second age if you only have single coin and single wood. Has the same crates in the third age. The 1000 food, quite nice to jump to the fourth age, either that or the 1000 coin. We do have advanced fortifications, a classic Breeze shipment that is. But possibly missing out on the fact that some of the cards, the gunpowder cards, have moved and transitioned to different ages. We do have 2 caravels and 1 frigate on Cascade range, which isn't probably the most standard shipments to have. If you drop 2 caravels in a pond, well, great, but they can't really go anywhere, and they can't go to the other pond. So, 1 dock being dropped from ageofkiller, sending 300 wood as his first card, so that's enough to get the dock down. 1 boat, did have 1 wood crate remaining from last time, so get that boat and production going. Another dock coming down from ageofkiller on the southern side as well. So going for 2 docks, that's 200 wood. Shopping wood now to continue boat production, but Migo is going for natives. He's built 1 native post straight away. He's not hiding the fact that he's going to go for the native play. This is a double Klamath. I'm hoping that Migo's not sending native treaties, because he might get a bit of a shock when he finds out he's allied with double Klamaths at this point. I did see Migo's first card in the last game I cast on this map was native treaties, but that only works if you go for Klamath and Nuka. But double Klamath, I think it might just be the 700 wood. He already has a lot of wood stocked up from that 400 wood age up. Already has steel traps, gang saw is already researched. No need for place mines just yet, because Migo is on the offensive. Utes and Q4 Klamath riflemen are on their way. A little gap in the wall from Breeze. Maybe Breeze just forgetting the best always made native treaties. That's a bit of a rest in peace moment. That's a big whoopsie there from Migo. Luckily this is a show match and not a tournament game he's about to play, because only getting 4 Klamath Riflemen out from an Age 2 shipment, that's pretty poor. And the fact that it also builds into your, your Klamath Rifleman total unit count, doesn't have the nukers to sit underneath the town centres to siege, and this hasn't really worked at all for Migo. Very, very early to say that. Here comes the delayed dock from Migo, what we've seen from last time. But he doesn't have any caravel shipments, but ageofkiller does! He has the caravel shipments. He could instantly go for 2 caravels and try and put pressure on the dock. There's no fishing boats out for Migo, so there's nothing really to defend himself from any caravel play. Breeze could even go for defensive colonial militia here as well. That could be interesting. And I think Migo's going for nuke because he's realised he's got double Klamath and needs a nuker 1. We'll pick up a villager, that's nice. And puts pressure on villagers gathering the wood crates. Even actually picking up 2 vills, that's probably a little bit more. That's probably a couple, that's 1 extra vill Breeze really shouldn't have lost, especially with 2 town centres. Right, so 10% on 135 damage. It's about 13, so it's 122. 122 was still 2 shots of Klamath Rifleman. So if Colonial Militia comes in, the town centres will 2 shot a Klamath Rifle instead of what they're doing at the moment, which is, it might even be 4 shotting actually. No, 3 shotting. Well, 3 shotting if they have a full 10 vills in either their town centre. Right, couple canoes coming out. Canoes being built straight away, but canoes versus dock with lots of villagers, fishing boats here to defend and garrison. Might need a little bit more. Okay, here come the nuker to try and siege down. Where's these nuker come from? They weren't trained from down here. Does he have a native embassy at home? I wouldn't expect so. Feels weird that they came from that angle. I don't think native treaties is a delayed card, so you get shipments for every time you train any more units. I don't think that's how it works. Anyway, 1 caravel trains. Kind of getting picked off here by the canoe, but this could open up the path for 2 caravels to be shipped into this pond as well. All the Klamath rifles being picked up at Breeze's base. It looks like Breeze just needs 1 more boats to 2-shot his canoes. They're currently getting... Oh, it's dodged! It's dodged! How is that dodged? That is crazy, but it's dodged. You can see the canoes want to try and move over here. And, okay, the dock's down. The boats are open. The 2 caravels, have they been shipped? I think a shipment is on the way. Is he just going to... He could just abandon this, actually, this side, and focus on the southern side. But no, 2 caravels do come out. A lot of low HP. Splash damage as well. Should be able to pick up low... Canoes with just multiple shots. Okay, canoes getting into the dock now. Another dock being built by ageofkiller north side. Meanwhile, back in base, 1 Klamath rifle pinning down Explorer, preventing this wall being built by other villagers. But the town centre being utilised very effectively behind this. Klamath rifles, they're very good at taking town centre fire, but they're not. Apart from that, they're not doing too much siege damage, but they are harassing Breeze's economy. Right, Vil is getting into the dock. That's 90 extra siege damage. It's really nice how Breeze has remembered to keep on rebuilding the dock, so he has that dock defensive capability. But both players having the dock firing. Actually, I think... Oh, there's a lot of boats now coming out. And they should be able to pick up the caravel. This is close. Right, Klamath rifles now have busted a hole through Breeze's base and could charge in and pick off quite a few... villagers and making them idle. A lot of hunting down to the far south of the map, out the way as far as possible. Okay, both caravels down from the canoes. Maybe a nuker down here sieging as well, but a couple of nukers really nice and harassing this. Migo has spent a lot of resources into defending when trying to capture this. Breeze has spent a lot defending, but he's Portuguese and probably can outboom here. A couple of hussars from Breeze on the Klamath rifles underneath the town centre fire. This is a nice pickup from Breeze. More reinforcements are on the way at the moment. but these Hussars have really traded off very, very well. Klamath rifles do about 5 hand attack per swing. That is pretty pitiful versus a 320 HP unit. Food has been sent here from Breeze. Minutemen have come out as well. Right, Wilderness Warfare, 310 HP. Klamath rifles with the team native combat card, so very high HP units now. CM could still be a good card here, you know. 2 town centres firing at 135 damage with 10 vills. They were 2-shot on Nuka Clubman. Probably possibly 4-shot. It's close. But Nuka, not great versus cavalry, and that's what's come out from Breeze. Quite a few Hussars, especially being trained, and more Hussars here to snare with reinforcing batch of Minutemen. Minutemen should be able to pick up reinforcing Nukas, and the Hussars can just get onto the Klamath rifles and pick this off. And meanwhile, Breeze's eco still going on. Foos to produce even more units. Fishing boats down to the other side of the sea, gathering quite happily. And it's looking looking even at the moment, but unfortunately I think Breeze will run out that fishing boat option down to the southern side. All those fishes will be depleted, and then we'll be left with a substandard eco versus what Migo has. But the 2 town centres by that time should have, you know, worked, paid off, and produced more and more villagers. But crossbows at this point versus double upgraded Klamath rifles, just not enough to really deal with these units. Someone in chat confirming it is a delayed card. So if you send native treaties, as soon as you complete your training post, you'll get a batch unit. So it's like a consulate, like intervention. You'll get the units once the post has been built. Migo sending 3 Hussars, and these guys are going down to the southern side of the map. Let's look at their waypoint there. They're onto this hunt. They've seen this hunt's clear. They're going to move down to here. They're going to check maybe another hunt down here. I think he's going to move past the coin mine and hit this hunt. He's moving to the backside, but he needs to know where these extra hunts for Breeze are, because he knows that he's not really gathering at home, because they're all in the town centre. Oh, Breeze is Asian. Breeze is somehow aging through this. What a miracle. Oh, just imagine how strong Colonial Militia would have been instead of 8 crossbows. There's just so many more units here. They have pretty poor siege. Even the Nukas, they don't have the greatest siege. 34, you know, they're not as strong as pikemen. They do the job done, but you can see the town centre will be focusing these units down quite quickly and actually getting the 3-shot go. Oh, Hussars onto the town centre. Town centre being thrown down, but all the native units making their way over to the town centre foundation. Somewhat being blocked off by the coin mine here. He's undecided where he wants to go for the villager kills or the town centre kill, but this town centre is not getting up, unfortunately. I think Killer now needs Colonial Militia to kind of recuperate the lost damage lost from that town centre, as a fact that it's not been put up. Right, that's a nice batch of 5 Hussars. I'm not going to check Killer's deck just... Oh, well, look at this. 2 Orkan Guns in a nice ward-off section. This is what Neutral Bear should have done with in game number 2 last series. But it looks like 1 Hussar managing to break through, and that is... you would think that's properly ward off, but it's not. But here come the CDBs with the Pioneers. Nuka, bark clothing, great coats as well. Breeze saying charge, taking down the Klamath Rifleman at this point. Explorer is actually in melee versus these units, but now that all the CDB coming in, remember, Town Centre has double fire versus CDBs. They do have massive HP stats, but they're not great at sieging, and just imagine a cavalry shipment coming out. He only has... Oh, he could go Mams if he had the coin. Just imagine if he managed to get the coin somehow. maybe selling off the food in the market or whatever. He's trying to mine something here, but these villagers not in the town centre. Is he getting log? Oh, he's getting blunderbuss. He's fighting out. He's using his villagers as a hand infantry out in the field. Now, that is a smart play. Where is it though? Because CDBs take 40% range resist when they tank, but they also take double damage from the town centre. I'm unsure what's the preferred method here. Probably the hand attack because it's 13 over 9 base damage to the town centre, so slightly stronger. But any villagers actually firing is really inefficient at this point. Harassment is really quite nice to put some pressure on. Right, his villagers just need to get into the town centre. They're not doing enough firing like this. He thinks blunderbusses are great, but you're doing 6 damage per shot versus 9. There you go, get into the hand combat. That's just putting these villagers down. And one town centre going down. This is awkward. Okay, he's got 10 villagers in the second town centre. That makes more sense. That's absolutely fine now having these villagers out and making the most of them. But it's awkward that Breeze is down to a single town centre. What's his next shipment going to be? It might just be 8 castles. Yeah, 8 castles. They come. They're going to get behind this villager line. A couple extra hussars just on the CDB, and the CDB they can't really take down hussars. You've got a couple of nukers trying to fight. CDB are focusing these units down with everything they've got, but the castles get away and actually will pick up quite a lot of these nukers. Nukers have high HP at the moment, but not enough to survive one volley from the castle bunch. And actually, now that there's most of those natives have gone, this is actually looking pretty dangerous for Migo. He's overcommitted on his eco at this point. Villagers moving to try and go into hand-to-hand combat with the CDB. A couple of these nukers though need to be focused down. Town centre, it's less than 500 HP. If this goes down, it is game over. Come on, Breeze, focus down the nukers with everything you've got. Castles, move south. Forget the CDBs. The nukers need to go. Town centre is down, unfortunately. Repeat, town centre is down. So all these villagers will have to fight hand-to-hand combat. Hussars going straight into buffs, nuker clubman. A little bit of extra damage, not a lot, but the extra HP is enough to kind of tank more shots. It's probably not over actually. Those villagers went back to gathering, but those nuker clubmen aren't great versus cavalry still. Low attack, it's just villagers punching away, and we don't see this enough. We don't see villager pulls and villager fighting as often as we do. Need to remember this is the last bit of food for Breeze on the water. If this goes down, then that is in a bit of a difficult situation for Breeze. No more food income. And now that he's lost those supporting units in the town centre fire, these villagers are starting to lose at this point. Let's look at units lost and 15 CDB, but 12 villagers and 7 fishing boats. It's a lot of eco has been lost in this game. Get to the fishing boat, run to the fishing boat. Breeze is going to try and build a town centre on the other side. I guess that's the play here. But I don't know if a town centre is really going to... I guess it is going to help. But the fishing... the deletion of the fishing boats, there's no more fish. But just imagine if you accidentally deleted this fishing boat as well. Defensive frigate from Breeze, expecting Migo just to rush that next town centre, but I think Breeze is going to get the time. But one TC boom from Portuguese versus, well, one TC boom from Migo, even though he's lost a lot of villagers due to that earlier push. I think the French Civ is in the lead at this point, and they have that military unit count advantage clearly over what Breeze has. You can't see it in the military unit population, but you can just see it on the screen. There's so many more units out in the field. And even these CDBs kind of count as hybrids, infantry as well. All cross-walled from Migo just to try and block any walling. But no, the actual wall from Breeze was built first to kind of cut through this defensive walling. But normal settlers, no range resist, actually get shot down quite quickly versus... Wait, do CDBs have negative multipliers versus villagers? I've never realised that. And so do settlers. Ah. Oh, you learn something new. I didn't realise they had a negative multiplier. So I suppose that's, you just need to see villagers punching each other if you want to actually get anything done. Okay, another town centre being made, but I don't think Migo can... Well, he can actually take down the foundation and take losses from the frigates. Frigate's going to be moved over to defend and try and pick off as what he can. Explorer's going to stay alive. That's a really smart play. Keep that Explorer alive. But the frigate is tracking retreating enemies. It's not firing. Surprisingly, not a good pickup there from Breeze from that frigate. We'd be hoping for a little bit more. Well, that crossbowman got executed by the Santiago. Unfortunately, I think that ship could have focused down on a higher value target like the nuke clubman in this case. A few annoying walls from Migo to try and help stop a full wall out play. Even going for a defense mill because he's out of food. Could ship villagers across the ponds to get these hunts here, but these hunts are quite... Well, they're dead and they're decaying. He needs to gather them quickly to make the most of it. Could probably put these villagers on these hunts. These mill gatherers onto a couple of these trees. He's building another layer of wall. He needs to buy as much time as possible. This town centre is so close. Oh, it doesn't go up. It doesn't go up. But Migo's in the third age. Artillery foundry down. Cannons are likely to be here from Migo. Going for one culverin to deal with that frigate first before going for falconets. Nice play. Town centre goes down. I think Breeze has realised it. And the GG has been called. And Migo struggling versus the, you could say, a bit rusty Breeze there. ageofkiller. Not a playstyle you're used to playing versus, against, real turtle defensive playstyles there. But I think Breeze would be in a fine position if he sent CM instead of either 700 food or 8 crossbows. The 700 food helped to get a couple of hussars out. 8 bows, pretty ineffective. I'm not too sure if Breeze realised that these units were double carded. But if there was CM, that could even scared off the army and allowed that third town centre to get up on the berries as well. And a 3 TC play there from Portuguese in the third age would have really shone as the game went on. But it was not to be. I think Breeze focused a lot on this north side, and he didn't invest any fishing cards or fishing tech, so maybe try to over defend this. And once Migo spent wood on the dock, the canoes and all that, canoes are 100 wood each. They're not cheap. They're more expensive than these fishing boats. Fishing boat 500 HP. I've never seen that before. Because these are classed as villagers, so they benefit from the pioneers, the great coats, the great bark, the wilderness warfare. Who needs a caravel of 800 HP or a frigate of 2000 when you can just spam endless boats, 500 HP boats? That's where the real OP strats are. It was looking good briefly, but until that next town centre went down, that's when it started to fall apart for Breeze. I still think Clone Militia will just have all 20 villas in town centre and only having a few extra out there punching around, because it's easy to micro 4 or 5 villagers punching. All resources gathered. This is going to be an interesting graph. Migo slightly ahead, but both players are really sacrificing eco as that game kind of went on.